Alright, welcome back to Scholar's Drive. Doing some math today. We'll be adding, subtracting rational expressions. Um, it's just a little bit, I meant to kind of be like multiplying, dividing, just now we're adding, subtracting fractions. It's going to be a little bit harder. Here we go. How to combine fractions. So, back in the day, hopefully you learned how to do this, here's a fraction here, 3/4 plus 2/3. We looked for the lowest common multiple. We looked at multiples of 4. And we're like 4, 8, 12, 16. And then we looked at 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. And we found out the lowest common multiple was 12. So we set up new fractions. So we had to have, we're going over 12 plus over 12. And then what we said was, how did 4 become 12? We multiplied by 3. So we multiplied top and bottom by 3. So we got 9. And then how did 3 become 12? We multiplied it by 4. So we multiplied the top by 4. We got 8. So we got 17 over 12. We're only allowed to add once the denominators are the same or subtract. That was the good old days. Also, if your math teacher either, I don't know, gave up on you or took the lazy route, all they said was take the denominator and then multiply the other denominator together. So they didn't even look for the lowest common multiple. They just took the two denominators and multiplied them together. But it's okay, because that lazy way is how we find the lowest common multiple of these crazy messes. So find the lowest common multiple. All you do is multiply them together. So the LCM is 4x times x plus 2. That's it. Done. Next, we're going to, oh yeah, number 2. Alright. So the first thing you want to do with these is make sure you factor. So I'm going to pull out 4 from the first. And I'll get x squared minus 4. So it'll become 4 x plus 2, x minus 2. And then on the right side, pull out a 6. And get x squared minus 4x plus 4. And that'll become 6 times there's supposed to be 4 here. There we go. Minus 4x plus 4. That'll become minus 2. X minus 2. X minus 2. So the lowest common multiple. Okay. So we look at the numbers first. 4 and 6. So instead of multiplying them together, remember, it's like what we did up here. Look at multiples of 4. Look at multiples of 6. The lowest common multiple is 12. Okay. And then we just tack on basically everything else. So we have, so the left side has 1x minus 2. But the right side has another x minus 2. So we're going to put both. And then the left side has an x plus 2. So that is our lowest common multiple. Alright, part 3. Again, factor everything. So we have x minus 2 on the left, and then we're going to have on the right x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay. So our lowest common multiple is on the left, we have x minus 2, and then we're just missing x plus 2. Hopefully that doesn't confuse you. So number 2, we have 2x minus 2's, that's why they appear twice. And then on number 3, we only have 1x minus 2 on the left, 1x minus 2 on the right. So we only need 1x minus 2. Alright. My part 3 is missing. Oh, jeez. So ignore this, because that's supposed to go here. 1 plus 1 p q. There we go. Alright, number 1. 2x minus 5. 5 plus x, x plus 6. Okay. They have the same denominator, so we can subtract like normal. So 2x minus 5 plus x is x minus 5. Over x plus 6. So to work it out, that's 2x minus 5 plus x over x plus 6. That gets distributed. Okay. And then you got them all up. Number 2. Same thing. We have the same denominator. So 7x plus 3x is 10x. 2 minus 1. 2 plus a negative 1 is 1. And then we have 4x on the bottom. Not so bad. P and Q. Okay. So our lowest common multiple is PQ. So I'm going to change the first fraction by multiplying top and bottom. Let me rewrite it. So we have 1 over P. Need to multiply both top and bottom by Q. And then we have 1 over Q, and that's missing a P. So I'll get Q plus P over PQ. So just looking at all the steps here, finding the least common multiple of each denominator, and then multiply what's missing, and then combine the numerators, keep the denominator. Okay, and then don't forget to factor if you can. Okay, so we have 2 different denominators here, so we need to look at the lowest common multiple. So 9x squared, that's basically 3 times 3 times x. And then on the right side, we have 3x, x plus 3. So our lowest common multiple is 9x squared, x plus 3. Because we have, if we combine these a little bit, we have 3x times 3x. They both share 3x, but they're missing another 3x. So let me back up. So they both share a 3x, but they're missing one more 3x. So since they share it, we put a 3x there, and then we tack on the extra 3x, and then they're missing an x plus 3. And that's where 9x squared comes from. Okay. So this is a lot of work here. That's why I have lots of space. So this is my LCM. So 7 over 9x squared, that needs to be multiplied top and bottom by... Sorry, got interrupted. So the 7 over 9x squared is going to be multiplied by what is missing. It is missing an x plus 3, because it already has the 9x squared. So both top and bottom. So this is going to become 7 times x plus 3 over 9x squared, x was 3, and then we're adding, so the x over 3x times x plus 3, all that's missing is a 3x so I'm going to get 3x squared over 9x squared x plus 3. Okay, now we're just going to add. And I messed up. When I originally factored in the very beginning, 3x, so I'm pulling out 3x from both of these. So this number here should be a 1. So that's not going to change the problem too much. Just going to change all these values into 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There. Okay. So I'm going to distribute these. That's 7x plus 7. So my answer is going to be 3x squared plus 7x plus 7 over 9x squared x plus 1. Or 7. Or no, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Alright, number 5. Okay. So let's factor this. So the bottom of the first one, I mean, we could have 5x and 2x. And then on the bottom of the right, we have, I'm going to pull out a 5x. So this will be x minus 2. So they both share 5x. And then we're missing a 2x on the left, and we're missing an x minus 2 on the right. So my lowest common multiple is 10x squared x minus 2. Okay. I'm going to change that 3 over 10x squared. That's just missing an x minus 2. And then we're going to change the x plus 2. That's just missing 2x. So I'm going to get 3x minus 6, that's distributing, minus, I'm going to go ahead and put minus sign here, 2x squared plus 4x. All over 10x squared x minus 2. So we're going to get negative 2x squared minus x minus 6. Because this negative sign gets distributed to both. Over 10x squared x minus 2. Let's see if I have enough space for number 6. So I'm just going to tell you now the lowest common multiple is 2x plus 1. So that's actually the factoring the left. And I'm actually going to combine the right because the right is x minus 3, x minus 1. So my lowest common multiple is basically the bottom multiplying the right. So, or the bottom left, the two denominators being multiplied together. So on the top, we're missing x minus 3 and x minus 1. So we have x plus 2, x minus 3, x minus 1, minus negative 2x minus 1, and that's missing the left, which is 2x plus 1. And this one we have to multiply all out. And it just simplifies down to x cubed plus 2x squared plus x plus 8 over our really long lowest common multiple. And yes, you would have to FOIL this and then FOIL it again, FOIL this, FOIL that, add your like terms. Skipping it because it just takes too long, sorry. But same principles. Alright, here we go. Complex fractions. So the first thing we have to do is, well, it's when we have a fraction over a fraction, and those fractions are being added or subtracted, so we have to simplify that first. So we had 1 over p plus 1 over q on the first page, which was number 3 here. Actually, I'll work it all out. Why not? So 1 over p plus 1 over q. So we got to figure out this first before we can do stuff. So this one's easy. take 1 over p, times it by q, take 1 over q, times it by p, because that's what's missing. So we got qp, q plus p over pq. So that is my denominator. Now I can do x over 1 times, flip the fraction, pq over q plus p. So that is xpq over q plus p. Number 2. Why? So I'm just looking at the denominator here. I'm going to combine these. X plus 4 and x. That's the lowest common multiple. So if I take 1 over x plus 4, I'm going to multiply both by x because that's what it's missing. And then 2 over x, that's missing, and x plus 4. So I'm going to get x plus, there's a plus sign here, plus 2x plus 8. It's distributed. So my fraction is going to be on the denominator 3x plus 8 over x times x plus 4. Okay, now I can do my division. So 5 over x plus 4. So keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, flip the second fraction. 3x plus 8. Okay, now I can multiply, but I can already cancel that out and that out. So I'll get 5x over 3x plus 8. Click D. Boy. Okay. Number 1. Factor everything that you can. Okay, we're looking at the denominator. So I can pull out a 3, which is x minus 3. And then here, this is x plus 3, x minus 3. Again, I'm looking at just the denominators, bottom numbers. So the LCM is 3. And then they both share an x minus 3. And then we have to tack on the x plus 3. So I need to multiply the first one by x plus 3. So I have 7x times x plus 3. And then the right one, I'm missing just 3. So this is 3 times x plus 4. There's a minus sign. So I'll get 20, or simplifying a bit, 7x squared plus 21x minus 3x plus 12. So we have 7x squared plus 18x minus 12 over our denominator 3x minus 3x plus 3. Number 2. So just looking at the denominators, I have 4x, so the first one on the left, 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2, and then we have x and x. And then the right side, we have pulling out a 4x, we got 4x minus 3. Oh, that's, sorry, 2x minus 3. Okay, so they both have a 4x. That's 4x times x there. And then, so they're missing another x. So 4x squared. And then 2x minus 3. Because they both share a 4x, but they're missing an extra x. I'm tacking that on. That becomes 4x squared. And then we're missing 2x minus 3. So on the left, we're just missing 2x minus 3. So 8 times 2x minus 3. And then we have a plus sign. So the right is only missing an x. So this is 2 plus x times x. So this will be 16x minus 24. Plus x squared plus 2x. Rearrange it and simplify. So this will be x squared plus 18x minus 24 over our new 4x squared times 2x minus 3. And this is a 24. Okay, number 3. So we got these fraction over fractions. Oh, well, this one's simpler because the denominator, both of these denominators are the same, so I can add them together. So this is just 8 over 5x divided by x plus 1 plus 4 is x plus 5 over 15. Now I can change it into multiplication. Oops. So this 15 becomes 3, that becomes 1. So I got 24 over x times x plus 5. Number 4. Boy. Alright, so what's going on here is that we have 5 over 2x plus this nonsense, 7 over x squared divided by 1 over 2x. So just ignoring this, I'm going to say, you know, this is the first fraction. I'm going to do this in parentheses. So remember that's 7 over x squared times 2x over 1. So this becomes 14x over x squared. Okay, this is my second. Now we're going to be adding them together. So we have 2x on the bottom, x squared on the bottom. So my LCM is 2x squared. So my left fraction, multiply top and bottom by just x, because that's all it's missing. And then my right, which is 14x over x squared, all that's missing is 2. So I'll get 5x plus 28x over my 2x squared, which is equal to 33x over x squared. And then cancel. I guess I could have canceled those x's a while back, actually. So this 14x over x squared, could have canceled that. So my actual lowest common multiple was actually just 2x. And that would have made it slightly easier, but that's fine. So hopefully this will help you out. Sorry if I got a little bit lazy, but especially on that last page, but you can tell that this is a lot of work. And yeah, you're probably going to get, 10, 15 problems of these. You do need to know how to do all this. Simplifying, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting. Just going through the basics. Alright. Have a good day.